Resident Evil 3 Remake is almost here, a classic retelling of the tragic events that befell Raccoon City at the hands of the Umbrella Corporation. Jill Valentine struggled to survive while being pursued by the relentless Nemesis.
Stars!
Just what is Nemesis? Where did it come from? Who was it before? Well, you're about to find out. If you're a fan of the series, or have at least seen my Evolution of Tyrant video, then you'll know that Nemesis is a prototype in a long line of tyrants created by Umbrella. This tyrant was implanted with the NE-alpha parasite, a parasite that attaches to the host's nervous system and brainstem, and controls the movements and actions of the host. In the game series, the exact origins of Nemesis aren't really addressed. We can only speculate that it started as a T-003 clone modeled after Sergei Vladimir, as were the rest. After implanting the parasite, Umbrella was able to give Nemesis commands and orders to follow. Unlike Mr. X, Nemesis is able to think and act on its own, while still adhering to Umbrella's commands. Also, its intelligence is high enough to let it operate heavy weaponry, such as a Gatling gun and a rocket launcher. Nemesis also sports a trenchcoat limiter, blocking him from further mutation. But, as all T-003s do, with enough damage, it will mutate. As most tyrants grow larger, sprout claws, and have an exposed heart, Nemesis does not. Having the parasite causes it to transform into a huge creature, closely resembling that of the parasite. Also, it can use its tentacles to attack victims, infecting them on contact. Umbrella deployed Nemesis a bit prematurely, as it was still unfinished. But after Raccoon City fell to the T-Virus, Nemesis was ordered to eliminate the remaining STARS members left in Raccoon City, who knew of Umbrella's involvement with the outbreak. It first set its sights on Brad Vickers, Alpha Team's pilot and resident chicken. After encountering him in the courtyard of RPD, it killed him with a tentacle to the face. Then it targeted Jill, pursuing her throughout the streets of the city and eventually leading to a clock tower, where she would become infected by one of its tentacles. A few days after, she would finally heal and once again confront Nemesis, this time dousing it with acid and watching it mutate into its parasitic form. Jill destroys Nemesis for good with an experimental laser called a rail cannon, and then its remains are blown up with the rest of the city, following the nuke. Nemesis has also been featured in one of the films. At the end of the first film, Matt Addison, an activist planning to expose Umbrella's true nature, was captured after being scratched by a licker and placed into what they called the Nemesis program. In Apocalypse, we learn that Matt's mutation, along with some surgical alteration, transformed him into the Nemesis, now instructed by Umbrella to kill the remaining STARS team, just as in the game. And then, eventually, to hunt down Project Alice. As the two faced off, Matt temporarily overrode Umbrella's programming to help Alice escape, but not before being crushed underneath a crashing helicopter. How will all of this translate into the remake? Well, its appearance has changed a lot, now sporting elongated teeth and a nose? But also, instead of a trenchcoat limiter, Nemesis is wrapped in some sort of wrapping marked with caution. Instead of its trademark tentacles, it now has a metal-looking tube connected to a device on its chest, which I'm guessing houses the heart. But that's not all. Along with the rocket launchers and Gatling guns, Nemesis now operates a flamethrower. I can't wait to see how the remake handles the tyrant. Also, we may be getting a new origin story, seeing as to how the trailer looked. Well, we'll know more in April when RE3 comes out. We'll see you then.